Hi Sagittarius, Heather here from the Crystal Vein Tarot, here to do your weekly reading for April 20th through to the 26th. This reading is for the Sun, Moon, Rising sign of Sagittarius, and it is a general reading, so the messages will not resonate for everyone, so be sure to check out your Moon and Rising sign readings as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm using the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. I've pulled a weekly card with a clarifier. And I will also be reading the bottom of the deck for the overall energies for this week. And then I've also pulled an animal speak rune. So Sagittarius, we have the Emperor. Okay, and it is being clarified by the Five of Cups. Okay. And you have the King of Swords as your overall energy for the week. So there's a lot of strategizing or strategy type and logical, orderly energy around you this week for sure. And then you have the Rabbit as your animal speak rune, and the Rabbit is about waiting. Okay. So Sagittarius, the King of Swords, the kings and queens of any deck, they can represent individuals around us. But this is, so there could be someone around you with the qualities of someone that would be very thoughtful, very orderly, upholds justice, very strategic, intentional in everything that they do. Doesn't let themselves be controlled or ruled by their emotions, but rather they're controlled and ruled by logic, reason, wisdom. So it's intellectual force and intellectual strength. He's very idealistic, logical, and choices that the King of Swords makes are based on logic and rationality. So this can represent someone that's around you this week, that's helping you through anything that you're going through this week, or that plays an important role in your life. But this can also be about you. So if you have any choices to make, if you have any planning to do, this is about you applying that logic and wisdom and strategic kind of planning that the King of Swords is known for, and bringing that upholding truth, being very justice oriented, again, making choices based on logic and rationality, being very impartial, not letting your emotions get the best of you. That's the energy that's around you this week and that you could be bringing forward, Sagittarius. The Emperor is a very respected leader. He's a father figure type of energy, so has that kind of an energy, that very fatherly energy that is a disciplinarian, but rules with logic and reason, and so very authoritative, responsible, and wise, and has that masculine ruling power. The Emperor also sets things in order and supervises and counsels. He's very confident, commanding, and he leads with confidence. So these two cards have a lot of that similar kind of energy and attributes. So like this is your energy for this week. So if you are in a position of authority at work, this could be about you being a boss and having a leadership kind of role at work, where you are supervising others and leading others. And so it could be that kind of energy. But if it's more in your personal life, and this could even overlap into your work life as well. But if anything that you have going on in your life, this is about you approaching it with that logic, reason, and that cool head. Because you have it being clarified by the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is anything but having a cool head. This is about focusing on loss, focusing on grief, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. But sometimes that's not really warranted, and that's not always the case. Because this is a card about obsessing over loss and obsessing over disappointment. So this woman, she's sad, she's upset, she's crying. She has these cups here that are broken. And cups, that's emotional energy. It's water energy. And so these cups have been broken and all the water has spilled out. So these things no longer emotionally fulfill her. These that represent things that she's lost and they're emotional losses. She's feeling the pain of the loss of these. And so she's mourning that. And now she's hanging on to these other 2 cups, the remaining cups, very tightly because she's afraid to spill those. But she's still focused on the loss rather than focusing on what she still has. So this can also be about, it's about turning your disappointments into stepping stones that can take you from pain of the past to triumphs for tomorrow and in the future. So this is about you being very rational, because this energy is clarifying the Emperor. So you could be finding that you are dwelling a little bit on things that have happened in the past that are making you feel disappointed, that are kind of painful, a little bit sad, you know, some losses that you've experienced in the recent past. And so you could be focusing, or that could be overshadowing you, and it could be preventing you from making some kind of a decision. But I do feel like you're overcoming that this week. If this has been a feeling that you've been feeling for a little while, Sagittarius, this is about you overcoming that this week, because you have that King of Swords energy, which is a very, again, non-emotional. This is about logic and reason and order, and being very impartial, and having that kind of an energy. And this is, the Emperor is about that respected leader, strategic planning. So this is about you looking to move forward and move past this kind of feeling and this emotion. And so I feel like, even though this is clarifying it, that you are beginning to overcome that. And then you have the Rabbit, which is about waiting. So rabbits, they're linked to the lunar cycle of 28 days. So when Rabbit shows up, it does tell you that you're going to need to invest time and energy into something, into any activity or endeavor, before it manifests, before it becomes something real and tangible that you can touch, feel, hold, kind of thing, or that it manifests into something big. So Rabbit also tells you that if you're not sure on a direction to go in, wait. There's no need to rush it. And, you know, King of Swords, the Emperor, these are not people that rush into things. They're very level-headed. They're very logical. So, and so Rabbit also has that energy of doing things like step by step, and do wait until you know exactly what you need to do or where you need to go in order, before you make any decisions on moving forward. It's all about that planning. So this is what Rabbit is advising you to do as well. And Rabbit also does tell you that even if you have to backtrack, don't worry about it, because the one thing with the Rabbit is oftentimes that they move in a very zigzag type pattern, and when they do, and they do backtrack over old ground, they always make it up with their long, fast hops and jumps. So even if you do have to do some backtracking in order to put something in motion in the proper way, that you'll be able to make up the lost ground. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about any lost time. And this could even be related to that Five of Cups too, that you're mourning something because you had something in motion and it didn't pan out the way you wanted to. Now you have to go back kind of to that drawing board. But this time, do it with more strategic planning. Take your time getting something going and in motion, putting it in motion. So Sagittarius, that concludes your reading for the week of April 20th through to the 26th. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell so you are notified when the next reading is available. And Sagittarius, have a fantastic week and take care.